again, bear with us as we learn this new technology. We will get this figured out. And the reason we had to switch technologies, by the way, is the last time we did a Saturday at home, there was a lot of people who got back to us and said that the system didn't let them in. We were maxed out with capacity, so we were forced to look for something new. Webinar Jam is the technology that we decided to go with. Some of you may be familiar with that with your corporate careers. None of us had ever messed with it, and so it is a really incredible program than what we're learning about, but it has so many features. It's not a simple thing to figure out, but it can do just about anything. So we're excited to learn more about it and be able to present a lot of things to you all in the future. So let's get started. I want to get back to our recognition real quick and just congratulate all of you on a great job. When we got together at convention, in that Friday night meeting that we did as a team at convention, we set some goals, and we were looking for a lot of different rank advancements. So we pulled up a report, and we have 52 new directors and above in this team. So I kind of define this team as Mike Miller, Matt Ryan, Brian Bolton, Chris Harrell's organizations, as well as a few project legs of mine that I'm including with this. A lot of my other leaders are running their own businesses in different parts of my business, but this report was only looking at just at our team here. So I wanted to highlight some silvers and above since the first of the year. Stacia Lundblad from Austin, Texas, Marcus Perez from Corpus Christi, Texas, Dr. James and Rita Lefevre from Las Vegas, Nevada, Hector and Brianna Gutierrez from Corpus Christi, Texas, Adam and Rita Bear from San Antonio, Texas, and you'll see several from the Philippines as well. But on this call, we also have, we're just going to kind of highlight those that are on this call here. We have some gold directors as well since January 1st, a couple from the Philippines, as well as new gold director Edward Pija from San Antonio, Texas. Congratulations, Edward. Also, Adam and Rita Bear, they've only been involved with the company for about 4 months, from start to gold director from San Antonio, Texas. So awesome job to you two. And as of last night officially, technically Thursday night, they finished a day early. Who finishes a run a day early? But Hector and Brianna Gutierrez from Corpus Christi, Texas, brand new gold directors. So congratulations to them. You're actually going to be hearing Matt Ryan interview Hector on Monday Matters call the day after tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And then I do want to recognize Linda Watson. Linda hit gold director just before the first of the year, and we've recognized her several different times, but because she was just before that cutoff, I wanted to put her picture up here and congratulate her. They helped us just a ton at our Challenge U recently in San Antonio as well. So, in fact, we recognize all these folks appropriately on stage at Challenge U. Some of them are holding up silver eagles as they had just advanced to silver, but went on to finish a gold run after hitting silver just 1 week. So, again, congratulations to all of you. What we're going to do now is I'm going to turn some time over to our next presenter, but just to give you kind of a little bit of an overview here, we're going to have Matt Ryan talk about our 10-week rookie game plan, the brand new weekly game plan. I hope you all pulled that up as we've been sending that message out. He's going to go through that in detail, just like he would with the new associate sitting in front of him. And then Mike Miller is going to talk about 2 major but commonly overlooked objections. He's going to do awesome there. And then I'm going to wrap it up with some great things I want to share with all of you using some tools, introduce you to a brand new tool for all of you, as well as talking about some major events that are coming up. And so the reason I put this picture up here is, as you can tell in my technology skills, I kind of think that I'm more like the Henry Ford of network marketing. I'm not that great at this business. What I've done is surround myself with people who are really good at this business. And so I've been fortunate enough over the years to sponsor or have other people get involved with our business and just support them and get out of their way and let them go and then do whatever I can to help them. And these are 4 guys that are people that I work with very closely these days. We also have other tremendous leaders all throughout our business. But Henry Ford's secret to success was to surround himself with people that were better than him. And I think that's what I've done here with my USANA business, is just surround myself with people who are way better than I am at this business, and I'm just fortunate enough to work with them. The second thing that I've done really well, I'm going to talk about when we finish up here as I wrap up the call today. But number one thing is to surround yourself with people that are better than you. And so what I'm going to do is turn the next few minutes over to one-star Diamond Director from San Antonio, Texas, Mr. Matt Ryan, and he's going to walk you through the new 10-week game plan. So Matt, why don't you take controls and take it away, brother?
Thanks, Brian. Well, I'm pretty excited, and if y'all will forgive me for just a couple seconds so I can get this rolling and going like it's supposed to be. Douglas, you have to quit sharing with everybody so I can.
I did that.
Hello. All right, well, let's get moving forward. Hopefully you've had a chance to download the Fast Track to Your Success that has been put together that is on the Challenge U website. If you have not done that, take this note right now that you're definitely going to want to make sure that you have that, and this is exactly what you need to be walking your brand new people through. You've got to set a game plan with them to walk them through this so that they know exactly what they need to do. And I know we have the I know we have the EBDS and we have the different systems to get people started and get them started right. What this Fast Track game plan is seriously that 1 hour game plan that you want to have with every new team member. And if you haven't gone through this, go through this. Get with your sponsor and say, hey, I want you to walk me through this step by step, so I'm making sure I'm not missing any steps and I'm making sure I'm doing the things that I need to be doing. I look at this as essentially the Cliff Notes to the EBDS. It doesn't mean you don't need to do the EBDS. What it does mean is that this is what can get you started from day one. Someone can print this information, be going through, beginning their training, knowing what they need to do, and they have everything in their hand. So let's talk this through. So as we're starting out, remember the most important thing to everyone, or at least it should be, is their health. And so we want them definitely to take the health assessment. We want them definitely to get on the products that they need so they can get some of the results that they're looking for, because that's personal, and that's what makes it real to them. The next thing we really want to focus on is building some customers. As we start building some customers, we start getting more of those health stories, which starts building our confidence and building our belief in what we're doing and how it's coming across. Finally, of course, we want to build team members. And so really what we're talking about right here in this action plan is, as you're working with a brand new team member who wants to start building their business, here's the steps that you would want to walk through, and here's how you'd want to get them started right. So the cover looks like this. And I know that there's a lot of blanks to fill in and different things, and hopefully you've got one right next to you so that you can be filling in some of this stuff as we talk. We are going to go through it pretty quick, but I want to walk you through the steps of how I would do this. Yes, put your name on it. Yes, put your ID number on it. Your name you should have known, pretty much since you could talk, and of course your ID number is basically who you are with USANA. So that's going to become that communication tool, that identification, so that when you're talking to USANA and you're trying to place orders or do things, it's how you log in. That's just crucial for your new team members to memorize that right away. This next page is a welcome letter. And really, it's just a couple of things I want to highlight in here. You've got to read this yourself. It's just that important. But realize that this is your business. You own it. You made a decision. There was something in your life or your new person's life that made them connect, going, I want to do something different. I'm dissatisfied with the hand I've been dealt, and I want to make a difference, not only in my own life, but in the life of other people. And so it's your decision of how far this goes. It's your decision of if it goes fast or slow. It's your decision if it's a big business or a small business. It's your decision, okay? And so your success and how far you go in USANA and how far you want to take USANA is not up to who sponsored you. It's up to you. So, I mean, recognize this. I mean, my actual direct sponsor quit USANA just 6 months after I got started. But that wasn't anything to do with me. But many times people think that would be a frustrating thing or a disappointing thing. I sought out and found members like Brian Douglas and Mike Miller to mentor me and teach me the ins and outs of what I needed to do. And a lot of the things that we're going to be walking you through this morning are exactly the things that I did to move my business forward. So let's get started right away. Within the first 6 weeks, you want to actually highlight the Platinum Pacesetter program. We want to make sure that they know what they need to do to qualify for Platinum Pacesetter or Premier Platinum Pacesetter and what the difference of that is. Just to clarify, for Platinum for Premier Platinum Paysetter, it means that you have 4 associates that have generated a cumulative 1,600 points in volume. So if that's 4 people that have enrolled and their total orders have equaled that 1,600 points. So if that's 4 3 business centers, great, you're already there. If that's 1 3 business center and some 1 business centers plus their auto orders, as long as it takes place within those first 8 weeks, and when we add all those orders up equals greater than 1,600, congratulations, they made Premier Platinum Paysetter as well. So it's whatever combination that adds up to that 1,600 points in cumulative volume. Let's focus on actually earning their investment back and earning the money back that they spent to enroll. Obviously, it is tax deductible when they get started, but many times people are looking at, look, it's cash out of my hand, cash back in my hand. Let's figure out how to do that. So we want to map that out and draw that game plan. In the beginning, those brand new people don't know what they're supposed to be doing every day. So this is where these daily tasks become so important. And so obviously we want to get them in the habit of using the products. It's one of the reasons I love the health pack, because that little packet, they can take that packet in the morning and a packet in the evening. They don't get confused with which bottle and what does this do and what does that do. They're going to learn that as they go. But of course, and especially if you help them make a My Health pack after you've taken them through the health assessment, then of course you can customize and get the products that they really need. They want to be inviting 2 to 5 people off their hot market. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. They need to be doing personal development at least, and I think 15 minutes isn't enough, but if you can find 15 minutes, and you can, to be reviewing some of the videos, be reviewing the materials, knowing what's in the product catalog, knowing what's in a Health and Freedom newspaper, knowing the information that's necessary for them to be moving their business forward. And then we also want to find out what their goal is. When I work with somebody, it is very difficult for me to try to help them get where they want to go if I don't know where they want to go. And a lot of times people, they really don't know where they want to go. And so you kind of have to help them walk through that process and really thinking what this business could do and what this could look like down the road. Should we really take this serious? So we want to put in their deadline. We want to find out, well, how much money do we want to make in the first 10 weeks? I don't want to imply that someone's going to go make $1,000 in their first 10 weeks if their goal is really just to make a couple $100. That's fine. Whatever their goal is fine. What are they willing to commit to from hours? When we have our jobs and careers, our employer expects us for so many hours and so much work to be done every single week. We have to treat our business, and we have to get our new people to understand they have to treat their business just like that. We got to put the time commitment in to get the results that we're looking for. And then, of course, their health goal. And, I'll tell you what, for me, when I got started with this business at 25, 26 years old, I didn't know what my health goal was. I didn't know that, that there would be any frustration or any problem as far as moving forward with health. But, now I've realized a huge priority in my health, and the difference that can make long term. And so you want to help them, connect to that. What do they want to do from a health standpoint? So they really see the value of the total package of USANA. Of course, being a prosumer, I was taught that if there were any products that USANA offered that we would buy, that we needed to use those products as opposed to the competitor products. So, the funny thing is that, I don't get volume points from Walmart. Or from the mall. And so I wanted to start shifting all the products from shampoo, conditioner, and shower gel to even my wife's skin products and everything that USANA provided, so that I could get those results and I could see the reality of having that personal testimony of using those products. So your new people, you want to help them to transfer that spending of where they were prior spending those dollars at their grocery store or the mall, or wherever case that they're getting their products and supplies, or their health food store, to be buying those products from USANA, so they're really becoming a product of the product. Auto order is, of course, the backbone of the longevity of your business. It is absolutely essential that they maintain their auto order. If they're not on auto order, then they're not open for business, and that will ultimately keep them non-qualified for checks. And so we've got to make sure that they're staying on auto order. Plus, they get the absolute best price of the auto order price. Growing your business. Now, there are 7 steps that I'm going to walk you through. You can find all these 7 steps in Eric Worre's GoPro book. Quick parentheses, if you do not have a copy of that book, get one. We'll have that options for that, later on in this broadcast. But I will tell you, I have gone through this book, and what I absolutely love about it is the simplest outline of building this kind of business I have ever seen. It eliminates all the riffraff, all the, well, what do I do here? What do I do there? Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So these 7 steps are the steps I'm going to walk you through. So let's talk about these skills that we got to develop. First of all is our prospects. The first thing we want to do is fill out our first 100 names. So when you're sitting down with your new person, on page 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of this workbook, or the next 5 pages of this workbook, are blanks for you to fill out those, 20 names and contacts each for who you're going to be working with and who you're going to start contacting. Don't worry about if they're going to be interested or not. That's not what you're trying to figure out. Who do you know? Father, mother, grandparents, children, sister, uncle, aunts, cousins. Who was in your wedding? Who were friends? Who'd you run around with in college? Who'd you see in high school? Who do you hang out with? Who do you like to spend time with? Answering those types of questions, you'll be amazed at how many people you know. In fact, I highly recommend that you just grab your phone and start scrolling through it and putting down those names and numbers. It's not good enough to just say, well, they're in my phone. You have to put them down on paper. I promise you it makes all the difference in the world, because you're able to look at a list of people that you have to go through. You can make notes and comments about what has happened, where they are in the process, what information they've seen, what questions did they have. You can make notes of that to allow yourself to move forward and to keep track, because many times people will get lost in the shuffle. And we'll talk about that in the follow-up process, that there is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of income lost just because of lack of follow-up or lack of remembering that someone was in the pipeline and we didn't keep up with them and we didn't touch base with them. So while you're sitting down with your person, I would recommend that you actually take some time to not only fill out their goals and their objectives of what they wanted on the first few pages, but when we get to this names list, that you take some time and help them get 20 or 30 or 40 names down right there in the workbook, because that actually creates their action plan of what they're going to be doing and moving their business forward. So I was taught when I got started that if USANA was going to commit to pay me $1 per week for the rest of my life for every name on my list, how long did I want my list? And I decided that I wanted to build this business big, so I wanted that list as long as possible. Because it also gave me confidence. It gave me confidence to know that I had a whole bunch more people I could contact and get with, even if the first handful didn't want anything to do with what I was talking about. And so I learned that that was okay. And so we meet new people every day. I still have people that we meet at the bank. Different people that you've met wherever you buy gas or groceries and stuff like that, the checker. I mean, we meet new people all the time that you want to constantly be adding to this list. It's kind of a never-ending list, but right out of the chute, we want to get that first top 100 people down. And don't tell me you don't know 100 people. We both know that's false. Psychologists say by the time we're 18 years old, we know more than 2,000 people on a first-name basis. We just want the first top 100 so that we can help get you moving forward and get that success that you're looking for. Skill number 2, when we're inviting folks, I'll tell you, your enthusiasm and your excitement matter a whole bunch more than what you say. So here's some just key steps that you need to kind of keep in your head. And what's great is as you're calling some of these prospects that are on your list, you can have this page in front of you as a quick reference guide so that you can kind of make sure you're on the right track and you're in the right process. First of all, be in a hurry. When we're in a hurry, several things happen. One, we don't have time to just chit-chat and riff-raff. Number 2, we usually talk a lot faster when we're in a hurry. We talk quick, we talk louder, and that, of course, creates a little bit of excitement. Compliment the prospect. 1 or 2 of these sentences is great. You've always been a successful person, and I respect the way that you've done business. I mean, you get their attention. They want to listen to what you have to say. Everybody loves a compliment. There's a couple different options here. You can either be direct or indirect. Sometimes if it's maybe somebody that we're a little intimidated by or something like that, the indirect approach is a great way to go. And let's just look at that real quick. I've just started a new business and I'm trying to get comfortable with, Before I really get going, I would like to practice my presentation with someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? Most of the time, if there's somebody who you know or that you have respect for, especially if you start off with a compliment, they'll give you that 30 minutes or whatever time that you need to do a presentation to allow you to practice. The direct approach works really, really good with that hot market. Hey, I'm launching a new business and I really want you to take a look at it. It's just blunt and it's to the point. It's not beating around the bush. It's not hiding. It's not, being bashful about what we're a part of, because if we come across with being bashful or ashamed, they're not going to respect it either. So we've got to come across knowing that we've got our hands on something fantastic. And then we want to ask a real simple question. If I, would you? And it's going to look something like this. If I send you a link, would you look at it? If I send you this health assessment, would you go through it? And so by this point, you've probably gotten at least 2 yeses from your prospect. They've agreed to look at information, and then you're getting to agree to say, yes, I would actually watch the video that you sent me an email, or I would meet with you. So they've said that a couple times now, and then you want to confirm that. You want to make sure you got the commitment. So when I send it to you, you're going to watch it for sure, right? They're going to tell you yes. Okay. So as we get a little bit further down, looking here at step 6 and 7 as we start to follow up. So if they say, yeah, I can watch the video by Tuesday, our response needs to be, so look, if you're going to watch it on Tuesday, if I call you on Wednesday morning, you'll have already watched it, right? You see how we keep leading them to that saying yes, saying yes, saying yes? Plus, it validates their commitment to looking at what we're doing. What's wonderful about this is it sets it up for the perfect follow-up. It allows it to be simple and easy. Also, get a good time to talk to them. So in other words, maybe Wednesday morning's not going to work, but if you said you were going to watch it Tuesday, would it be okay if I get a hold with you Wednesday at 6 p.m.? So you've already set the time and the date. Great, got to go. Talk to you then. And so you're already done with the approach. They've already committed to look at the information. Now the obligation is on you to get them the information or to meet them at that time. And then, of course, the follow-up appointment has already been set up, and they haven't even looked at the information yet. I love how that works. It just flows really, really well. The next thing is in the follow-up process is you got to be using an expert. I will tell you, if you will understand this diagram, it will make you millions of dollars, because it has for me and tons of other people. I absolutely love this little diagram here. The thing is as you're getting started, your friends and your colleagues, they know you in the realm that they know you. They know that you work at in an insurance company, or they know that you work for a retailer, or they know that you have a small business doing X, Y, and Z. They don't necessarily know that you have a clue when it comes to running your own network marketing or network marketing business. So when we use an expert, we're able to transfer that trust. And so here's kind of how this would look. Your prospect knows you and trusts you on some level. Okay, you're a friend, you're a colleague. They for whatever reason they know you and trust you. Maybe go to church together, or the case may be. But again, they don't necessarily know that you have a clue what's happening when it comes to a business like this. When you edify that expert person, sorry guys, I'm trying to draw here. When you edify that expert person, it allows you to kind of get out of the way, and allows you to allow that expert to teach and train and support and give them the information that they need. And so your job in this whole process, I didn't do very good in art class, as y'all can obviously tell, but your whole job in this process is to essentially just be this little, believe it or not, this is a sunflower. is to be a sunflower. And I'll tell you why. Because sunflowers absorb. So as your expert takes over that conversation, once you have properly edified them, and by edifying them, what I mean by that is 2 or 3 sentences of why they should listen to you. So if I was going to edify a Mike Miller because he's being my expert person to that I'm working with, I would say something on the lines of, of this is, listen, I brought Mike into the conversation because Mike has been doing this from a lot longer than I have. He's got some incredible health stories and benefits that he's resulted from. And not only that, from a business perspective, he's made millions doing just this, teaching and training people like you and me on how to do this and become successful. And because I'm brand new, I want to let Mike answer those questions for you. And I would say something very similar if I was introducing Brian Douglas. And I'll tell you, as I use this exact model here, I learned to be a fabulous sunflower. I was absolutely quiet, only absorbing and listening to what they said and how they answered questions. And what that did for me is it allowed me to earn as I learned. And so as I was learning the information and hearing how they were answering questions, it gave me the ability to later answer those exact same questions and be that expert person, for my team. There's a funny expression that more is caught than taught. And so sometimes when we just sit here looking at this diagram and looking at my pretty pitiful sunflower that's been drawn here on the screen, we think, okay, I got it. Let me tell you how you get it. You get it by doing it. You get your expert on the phone and you use them in these follow-ups. And as you go through them repeatedly, all the different scenarios and all the different issues or problems or concerns that could come up are going to come up. And it allows your expert that coaching moment to teach through it. You can see how they handle it, how they respond, how they talk to those different folks. It is incredibly empowering. Skill number 3 is the presentation. I highly recommend that you use the Hub or use on his YouTube channel and some of the 3 videos that we've been promoting. You're going to see a little bit more about that in the rest of this broadcast. Other things that I highly recommend when I do a presentation is a Health and Freedom newspaper. I love sitting down across from a person and flipping them through a Health and Freedom newspaper to just show them the ins and outs of the company. It allows me to kind of customize it to that person. Other additional things that you can do. There are a lot of local events that are taking place, group presentations in hotels. One-on-ones are fabulous because they can see your body language and they can hear the passion in your voice and how excited you are about this. So there's also some additional resources here. Use these. Check them out. See the value of them. See how many people you can have to take a look at it. See how many people you can have that can check it out and respond to the information that you're promoting and you're sharing. The 4th skill is the follow-up. And again, this is part of using that expert process, but it is actually where most people lose the most of potential income, is because they just don't follow up. Statistically, it takes a person 4 to 6 exposures before that person is ready to join. And the key thing here is you've got to get the mindset of selling out of your head. You are not selling. You're not convincing. You're not trying to twist people's arms. You're not begging them. We're in the education problem-solving business. We're to educate people about the products that we have, the company that we have, and to use those products in this company to help them solve some of the problems and issues that they have in their life. And many times that may have to do with time, or money, or health, or whatever the sense may be. But it's a process in moving them through that to help them draw the conclusion that this is what would make sense for them to do. Not you convincing them to do it, allowing them to make the decision and leading them through the process. So here's how we're going to do that. Skill number 5, helping your prospect become a customer and associate. And so during the follow-up, and your expert person will do this for you most of the time until you're confident enough in where you're doing them for yourself. But it's a real simple question. What did you like best about what you heard? I love starting off that way because it starts on a positive note, and you can kind of find out where they are. The next thing, look, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 0 being no interest and 10 being I'm ready to get started, where do you find yourself? What's great about that is it lets you know how close the person is to being ready to get started. Many times they're going to give you a response like, well, I'm a 6, I'm a 7. And once you know what that is, it's real simple. You say, great, what do we need to do to get you to a 10? So you can allow your prospect to ask you or tell you what is that extra information that they need to know or they need to see so that they can be moving forward. Once we've got them to a 10, we can, of course, then continue to move on. Based on what you've seen, if you were to get started with us on a part-time basis, approximately how much money would you want to earn in order for this to be worth your time? And they'll tell you. And so as you're learning this, what's great is you're learning this information in the enrollment process, but you're also getting the information to help them start their quick start booklet, which we're going through right now, because they're starting to tell you what their goals are. And then find out how many hours are they willing to put in. So if they tell you, well, I want to be making, $3,000 a month, but I'm only willing to put in 1 hour a week, you can have a realistic conversation. It's you have unrealistic results. We need to bring them more in proportion, because I don't want to set them up to be disappointed. If they're not going to put in the time, then of course we're not going to get the results. And so we need to know that so that we can help them get that in aligned. Find out how many months that they would be willing to put into that. And then of course ask them this simple question as you're bringing them to that final closing part. So if I could show you how we could develop however much money you want to work per month, working however many hours they said they were willing to work, would this be something would you be ready to get started? So you're leading them to a very simple yes, okay? And so it's not really this frustration or trying to convince or anything like that. It's really bringing them through the process. And so what we want to continue to promote is the process. USANA is a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous company, okay? But the process of how we build their business is where we develop the success for the individuals that partner with us. And so we definitely want to be moving them through that process. Skill 6 and 7, okay, is that we want to focus on duplication. Again, more is caught than taught. So as you're moving forward, remember your new associates and your prospects are watching you. They're watching the health choices that you're making. They're watching the way you talk to prospects. They're watching the way you treat people. They're watching your customer service skills. So we want to be able to duplicate that, and we're going to duplicate that by taking action. So the action steps would be duplicating this system, this fast track system that I've just almost finished walking you through. We can't be mirror images of each other, but we can duplicate a process, going through the same steps. Of course, events. Now, I'm only going to spend just a second on here because we're going to hear more about this in a second, but step 7 is we always want to be promoting events, things that are taking place, times when people can be getting together, that they're sharing stories and sharing examples of the benefits and the results that people have been getting, not only in the business, but also on their health. And then making commitments to be inviting people to those events. So you want to be filling out these blanks for your team members, because they don't know when the next hotel event is. They don't know when international convention is. So you need to be filling these out when you're walking that brand new person in, so they can be seeing that. Not only that, but setting goals for how many team members that they would want to join them at the international convention. That's coming up just here in August, and I'm actually encouraging my team members right now, you need to already be registered and already be working out your airfare and things like that. And the reason being is because it will spread out the costs, so we can spend those dollars today knowing that we can have the benefit of that later, instead of waiting till we get right down the road, coming up on August, and then we're stuck with having to come up with a convention ticket and having to come up with airfare and having to come up with all those other kind of things. We want to take that action now. Of course, here's another list of some suggested reading. These are probably the best books for getting your business started right out of the chute. And I highly recommend every single one of these I've read. They're worth it. In fact, some of them I'm rereading. It's definitely worth it. And so at this time, I'm going to, so that we can stay on time, I'll be passing the controls back, I believe, to Mr. Mike Miller. Michael, you with me?
Can you hear me, bud?
I can.
Okay. Let me switch this up a little bit. And Matt, if you'll help me out, tell me when my presentation's up. Matt, if you can unmute yourself and let me know if I've got this thing up and running correctly, I'd appreciate it.
Sorry, buddy. You were up just a second ago.
Okay.
You're on screen share. Put your PowerPoint back up.
Okay, should be good to go. Okay. Shoot.
Mike, it's not up. You need to broadcast to everybody. There it is.
Okay, overcoming objections.
You're live.
Beyond the feel, felt, found method. You know, when I first started in USANA, and actually I learned this early in my sales career in corporate America, the feel, felt, found method. I'm sure most of you have heard this thing. And in my opinion, after 20-some years of hearing this, it's kind of getting overworked. And I want to dig into this a little bit deeper and help. I've been talking to a lot of new folks. I've been talking to some of my some people on the team that have been around for a while but haven't really fully engaged or haven't found a lot of success. So I want to help you to overcome some of those issues. And there's two hidden objections that I have observed that many of our prospects have. And number one is, I don't believe you. All right, well, this comes into play with those people, those of you who are doing a cold market and doing leads and things like that. Basically, you're developing a rapport. And remember, they're not going to do business with you until they know you, like you, trust you. And with our warm market, trust is really not an issue, or I should say shouldn't be an issue. So they don't believe the opportunity is real. Okay, so you need to get past that in the cold market. In the warm market, the I don't believe you objection is that you are the objection. So now the number two objection is, I don't believe that I can do it. And that's where the bulk of the issues that I've seen lately have been coming in, is that, hey, this sounds good, it looks good, products are great, but man, I don't know if I can be successful at this. And all the objections like I don't have time, I don't have money, or I'm not a salesman, or this thing or that thing, boils down to is, I don't believe I can do it. And they're not going to say that. And you understand these objections that are below the surface, and you can speak to those, you're going to have a lot more success in overcoming them. Okay, the key principles here is that, number one, you got to listen. Now, those of you who attended the Challenge U event in San Antonio, when we talked about the personalities, and we're talking about the driver and the expressive, and what was the biggest issue there, they had to listen. Okay, well, you know, actually, all of us, every single one of you, you've got to listen, and you've got to be active listener, and you've got to be assertive and listen. Principle number two is listen with empathy, meaning you've got to relate with that person. You need to connect with that person, and not just try to do a sales job here, but really to develop a connection with that person. Because remember, if they don't feel like you like them, or they don't feel like you are taking the time to know them and they know you, you're not going to develop that trust. So third principle is listen with intent. You see a theme going on here? Listen with intent. In other words, peel the onion. So what we do here is you keep asking those questions till you get to the heart of the matter. So you find out what's really the main issue that's driving, the main problem is driving that conversation, of them having that conversation with you to begin with. Fourth thing, listen at the heart level. A lot of times we are just speaking to the head level. Yeah, Dr. Wentz is a great scientist, and we got these great products, and whoa, my gosh, we're on Dr. Oz. That doesn't hit the heart level of, like, how am I going to pay my bills on Friday? I just had a baby, and I can't go back to work because I don't want to leave my baby in a daycare center. I have never achieved a success in anything in my life, and I'm scared to death that this is so good, and I'm going to fail at this, and I'll be a failure at everything in my life. All these things that people make up in their head, and but they're actually feeling it deep in their heart. You need to listen to that and get to the heart level. When you're relating at that level, that's where the trust comes, and that's where they feel that they have the support, and they feel like they have everything in place they need to move forward. Now, let's talk about the I don't believe you part. If it's on a cold market basis and it's opportunity related, that's really quite easy to overcome, because you can overcome that with simply through the evidence and credibility. What I mean by that is like, hey, USANA is publicly traded in New York Stock Exchange. Well, that just throws out a whole lot of, is this a get-rich-quick scheme? Is this a scam? Is this thing or that thing? No, this is a major company on its way to $1 billion in sales. So that is huge. Number two, science-based products, not fad-based products. This is the real deal here, guys. This is not a fly-by-night, Johnny-come-lately and here today, gone tomorrow type of thing. Third-party, highest third-party rating from Consumer Labs, the comparative guide. And for crying out loud, we're on the Dr. Oz show now. Trusted partner with Dr. Oz. That has become huge. Just that fact alone has opened the door for me in talking with some major heavy hitters in the business. And here's one you probably are not fully aware of, but USANA has never had a problem with any federal or state governmental regulatory agency like the FTC, the FDA, or any state attorney general's office. Our compliance department has done a fabulous job at shutting down issues before they ever become an issue, and governing us so that we're not making wild people aren't out there making wild health claims or income claims. We're following the rules, and because of that, we have a reputation amongst the regulatory agencies that precedes us as we're one of the good guys that are doing it right. You need to know that, and your prospects will feel comfortable knowing that they're dealing with a credible company that's doing it right. So that is easily overcome. Now, the second part of the I don't believe you issue is that these are things about us personally that may be a little bit difficult as you start in the beginning. Yeah, hey, I'm too young, or I'm too old, or I lack professional credibility. So far, for like some of the younger folks, so far the biggest thing on my resume is that I'm a sales guy at a retail outlet, or maybe you've been in other network marketing companies before, and because you weren't properly trained, you burned your warm market. Maybe you've been in 3 or 4. I know some people who have been in, as I talk to them, have been in quite a few. And so the warm market time sees them coming and they run. So that's something that could be an issue. Or you've been in USANA for a while and you haven't achieved much success, and you feel like that's holding you back, or that could be an issue with some of the professionals that you may be talking to. So you overcome this issue by getting yourself out of the way. And what we do is what Matt's talking about is the process. Well, and it's emphasizing the system. And you use the tools. You let the tools do the selling for you, and you learn to use your team. And because because then it's not about you, it's about the entire team. And if people can see that, hey, I'm not signing up with an individual. I'm signing up with that team, and I'm signing up with my upline, or signing up with my upline expert. So these are all the things that you use to get yourself out of the way, and this is especially important in the beginning, because one of the biggest things is like, hey Susie, it sounds really good, but how much money have you made? Well, I just started last week, for crying out loud. How much money do you think I've made? But that's an issue. That's why we say use your expert. And that's something I was taught early on, and that's something that was very vital to my success, and is still vital to a lot of people's success today. So I don't believe you. I burn my warm market. Well, let me dig into that issue a little bit deeper here. You need to have patience on this, and the reason I say that is that is that you need to focus on rebuilding the relationship, and go out and find new relationships. Get good at developing a new warm market, if you will, but let go of those emotional attachments that that people tend to hang on to. And what I mean by that is that there's not one person that's going to make or break your business. And even though you have people who have a lot of potential, oh my gosh, I hear that word so many times as I'm talking to people. This guy has so much potential. If he can only sign up in my business, I will have it made. That's the thinking that you are digging into. That's an emotional attachment. I heard this a while back, and I thought, and it really stuck with me. It's like what's the definition of the word potential? It's a fancy French word meaning it ain't working yet. It doesn't matter how much potential somebody has. It doesn't matter if they don't go to work. I'd rather have somebody who has no potential at all, who has a fire in his belly and is willing to learn, is willing to grow, and willing to develop these skills, and then to become an expert in this business. All right, let's digging in a little deeper here. When you have I don't believe you, you've had no success. All right, this is an issue that people are not going to talk to you about. They're not going to express that, but they may say, you know, how much money have you made in this business? How are you doing in this business? And I'm going to put this on another slide here because I scripted this recently with somebody who basically, I said, well, you know, hey, let's just tell the truth, okay? Don't try to make something up, but let's tell the truth about what you're doing, and don't worry about trying to write this down. You can do this later in the recording, but I'll read this thing to you. We scripted this for this particular individual. It says, I'll be honest, I haven't made a lot of money yet, because what's more important to me than making money is my personal integrity. Before I asked friends whose relationship I value to join me, I wanted to be sure that this thing was legit. I want to make sure this thing was real. So I joined to look at this thing from the inside out and use the products. After sitting on the sidelines, going to the convention, meeting the people, I found that USANA is actually better than what they said in every way that is important to me. That is why I've decided the most important activity I can be doing right now to secure my financial future and make a difference in other people's lives is to be building my USANA business. Can I share with you what I found? And you know what? That turned everything around for this particular individual. So basically, be authentic, all right? And so when you say, I don't believe you, the best way to overcome is, you know what? Commit to the personal development. When you do that, it's going to be reflected in your income, and because you're adding value to other people's lives. And the best way of doing that is just grow, because then people are going to say, hey, you're not a kid anymore if you're a kid, or you know, and plus your posture is going to change because you're just not a blank, 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 whatever is, fill in the blank, whatever is limiting you, whatever thought is holding you back. It's just that. It's a negative thought, it's a negative belief, and it's a lie. You're just not that anymore. Today, you have changed. So, second part of this is I don't believe I can do it. Their prospects thinking this. And this manifests itself in some of the bigger things. It's like, I don't have time, I don't have money, which is the two biggest ones I seem to hear all the time, or I'm not a salesman, or any of those kind of things. So what you do here is invite them to the trainings, invite them to the Monday Matters call. You know, we have some of the things that are we got to take care of some issues that probably is not appropriate or not beneficial, I should say, for the prospect to be on those calls. But others are 90% of these calls are prospect friendly. Is that, you know, hey, they're going to see if there is support and there's training there. Invite them to the Saturday at home. Hey, kick the tires. You know, you're going to get these kinds of support from leaders in the business and from your immediate upline. And if you have a home meeting or a live meeting, by all means support that and invite them to that. Educate them on the system, and the system's really very interesting. And I saw the importance of this when I listened to a Health and Freedom recorded presentation of Brian Bulke did a while back, and when he got to this part is what it really started to resonate in me. Thinking, yeah, that's why the Team Illuminate is kicking butt and taking names, and that is, number one, you're generating interest because we're going to teach you how to do this. Number two is use the tools, and we're going to teach you what they are, and we're going to teach you how to do this. And number three is use the team that we have to back you up, and we're going to teach you how to do this. And number four is use your expert, because we're going to teach you how to do this. And number five is earn as you learn, and you're going to be happy we taught you how to do this. Okay, and that was the message that kept being conveyed throughout the whole process. And it's the system, and and ultimately following the system, is that systems duplicate. My story, is my story. I can't duplicate that story, but I can duplicate this system. So let's go a little bit deeper beyond the feel, felt, found method. Okay, and the new formula is LSCPA. Okay. First of all, L stands for listen, which we dug deep into that one. And the most important part is to listen, listen, listen. So you listen by asking questions. And there are the top 8 reasons people join your business: extra income, financial freedom, having my own business, more time, personal development, and a big one, I emphasize this one, I made it a little bolder and larger, helping others, which is emerging now. For those of you who are talking to baby boomers, that multiple articles coming out that people are looking at network marketing and so on, particularly because of the issue of like, hey, we've been in the us baby boomers have been in the job market for many, many years. We're tired of working for the man. We're tired of feeling like we're just spinning our wheels and just putting in time, trading time for dollars. We want to earn money, but at the same time feeling like we're making a significant difference in other people's lives. And so that's is becoming more and more important to people. But also meeting new people and retirement. And of course, baby boomers are really, really concerned about the retirement issue. Now, we start listening by asking questions. So we have the top 8 reasons here on the left. Here's the top 5 questions on the right. What is your number one priority? Which one of these is most important to you? And why that one? Why is that the one that you pick? So you dig in a little bit deeper. Peel the onion. Is that important to you? And what are the consequences of not having your more time? What's the consequences of not having the extra income or the financial freedom? Does that worry you? Can you tell me why? Tell me more about that. And so and that starts to basically get down to the heart level and start relating with that to that person and getting down to where the issues where they really live. So the S stands for share, and this is actually where the feel, felt, found method, feel, felt, found comes into play. Yeah, I know how you feel because I felt the same way. However, when I looked at this, and this, I found that blah blah blah. But there's another thing you should sentence that, another way of saying that. See, I know. That's exactly why you should be considering USANA. And so, it's, one of the sound bites that I teach my people is that whenever you hear an objection, no matter what it is, I know that's exactly why you should be considering USANA. For example, I don't have money. Yeah, I know. That's exactly why you should be considering USANA. Because what it does is that sentence breaks their state. That gets them to stop focusing on the issue of no money, which they think is the issue, and start focusing on, okay, tell me more why, and they start looking at the solution. Or, I don't have time. I know. That's exactly why you should be considering USANA, because there's ways of overcoming the issue of no time, because we all have busy lives. I mean, it's been that way from day one. I worked 60 hours a week, but I found time to do USANA. How did I do that? By using the system, by using the tools. The tools did the work while I was at work. and that's the key. And then instead of watching Seinfeld at night, I would make a phone call. And when you actually got down to it, how can you build a six-figure income on 10 hours a week? Is that really realistic? Yes, it is, if you follow the system. So sharing that how that system has worked for you. Now, this is important. C equals stands for clarify. Clarifying questions. Now, let me tell you something, guys. I say ask questions, ask questions. If you ask questions that are naturally going to lead the person to say yes, do you want better health? Well, obviously everybody wants better health, okay? But are you willing to sacrifice giving up something to obtain that? Well, that's a different issue, okay? So clarifying questions, though, is kind of questions that get them to talk and reveal more about what's important to them. So they make a statement, so meaning what's the, I am, well, I think you got the idea. Say for example is another, give me an example of what you mean by that. And the more that they talk and the more they express themselves, the more that leads to the next clue. They get a little bit deeper, and so then maybe they're telling their story. So therefore, you feel blah 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 blah. Is that accurate? And then you did this, and then what happened? And so another question is which means. And so what you're doing is simply having a response which leads them to talk a little bit more, and peel a little bit deeper, and then simply say, tell me more about that. Yes, I tried one of these things a while back, and just a miserable fit. Well, tell me more. What happened? I didn't have the upline support, or I just felt like I was just overwhelmed. Well, tell me more. Why did you feel that way? And then, well, for example, what happened? So now, at the end, I always say, now, if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is, okay, and now you're repeating their words back to them. And then at that point, they feel like, hey, you know what? This guy is really listening to me, and you're connecting at the heart level, and that's where the magic happens, because now they not only feel like they know you and they like you because you've been listening to them. Now they are trusting you because you truly listen to them and you understand their issue, what they're trying to overcome in their life. P is present, and that goes back to in the 7 steps. If I could, would you? And ultimately, that's exactly why you should be considering USANA, because we can help you with that issue and help you overcome that. Now, ask is asking for the order or the close. See an opportunity file, and going for that. Now, LSCPA. When I was learning that formula back in my corporate, although I worked for a very dysfunctional company in my corporate world, I had a trainer who was pretty vulgar in a lot of ways, and since most of us were guys, he was able to get away with it. He eventually got fired because of when the ladies start coming on because he's too vulgar. But anyway, he had a way of helping us understanding that. And I call that, stopped calling prospects action figures, but he had another word for it. But this is a way for you to learn LSCPA: listen, share, clarify, present, and ask. And so that is the conclusion of my presentation this morning. I want to thank you for your time, and I need to stop sharing here and turn this back over to Mr. Douglas, who's going to take us a little bit deeper into the tools and some other
good stuff. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yep, I can hear you now. You're good.
Is my screen up correctly?
And yes, your screen's up. You're good to go.
what do you know? We're figuring this thing out. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right, great job, Mike, and also you as well, Matt. All right, so I have some fun stuff I want to talk to you all about. I'm really excited about this tool. A lot of you have seen it. I don't know if all of you are using it as much as you should be, but I really think this is the hottest business building tool to hit the market, to hit the industry in the last 10 years, and that is the Rise of the Entrepreneur DVD. You can see up here on the left a lot of the different, this is only like half of the different people that are featured on this, but these are some pretty big names. Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Harry S. Dent, and Paul Zane Pilzer. Those two guys are some of the best, the most respected, well-known economists in America. Mark Victor Hansen, a well-known author. Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, obviously, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Joseph Marino, he's actually the main man at the Direct Sales Association. Kevin Thompson is a network marketing direct sales attorney. Brian Tracy, a sales expert, and of course Eric Worre, our good friend that does so much for this industry. And what I love about this DVD is this is a documentary. Everybody loves documentaries these days. So how I'm using this is I'm talking to somebody and I'll ask them, do you like documentaries? Everybody always says yes. I said, have you ever seen a documentary on business or on what's going on the economy out there today? And they'll say no, typically. And I'll say, this is a brand new documentary. It has a price tag on the back of $19.97. That adds a lot of value. And I let them know, if I give this to you or loan this to you, will you watch this tonight? There's some just eye-opening information on this that'll absolutely change your life. So I really let them know that it's a documentary. I use this as a, preferably before I do a health and freedom presentation. I have found if I can get somebody to watch this documentary prior to doing a health and freedom presentation, then their mind is wide open. We all know one of the biggest objections people have is the objection of the industry. This DVD, this documentary, takes care of that objection. I actually have a gentleman on the webinar this morning with us that recently signed up and just became Premier Platinum Pacesetter finalized. So Dan and Stephanie Bazan from Utah, congratulations to you guys. But I remember he watched this DVD the night before that presentation, and when I met with him and did the Health and Freedom, he said, I feel like I'd be stupid not to do this business. And so it obviously works extremely well. The other thing that I want to talk about real quick on a post-Health and Freedom. So if I have somebody who I'm doing a Health and Freedom with, and they say, this looks good, I have some questions, or I want to think about it, I'll send them home with this DVD. The reason I like using it before, obviously, is not just to open up their mind, but I know all of us are in a situation where if we were meeting with somebody tomorrow about something that was important, we're going to go home and start doing our own research, probably Googling or something like that. I want to help control that research that they're doing, and so that's what I like to have them do with this DVD, is I'll tell them, to get ready for our presentation tomorrow, our meeting tomorrow, why don't you watch this DVD at home tonight? So that's, again, how I use it mainly. And then I also use it with new team members. I give all my new associates some of these to help, depending on what pack they get going with, as an incentive, as well as to help them build their belief in the industry, because we all know how important belief in the company, product, self, and industry is. And most people, belief in the industry is one of the biggest problems out there, not just for our prospects, but also for our new associates. So I use it as a training method. And then I want to talk for a second about the DVD versus online subscription version. When I first learned about this, I thought, all I need to do is subscribe to it online. And I'm going to talk about that because it's a great thing to do. The difference is, because this is 50 minutes long, for me personally, I don't know about you, but when I sit down at my computer and I am watching something online, I have a very short attention span. I have things popping up in the background. I have the phone ringing. I have text going off. I have emails coming in. I just, squirrel. I get distracted really easy when I'm at my computer. When I sit my butt down on my couch, I can sit and watch something for 50 minutes without blinking an eye, if it's something that's engaging, without having all these distractions. So I have found that if somebody watches it on DVD, they're watching the whole thing a lot more than if they're watching it online. I still use both. If somebody's local, I always use the DVD. If I'm sending out a packet for any reason, I would use the DVD as well, even if it's a welcome aboard information. In fact, I sent these as in my Christmas cards to a lot of my project people. this last year for Christmas as a gift. So I'm using the crud out of them. I believe in them. The way I would use an online subscription version is if they were long distance and I want them to watch it today and we're talking, tomorrow doing Health and Freedom. So I use the subscription version for long distance. The second thing I want to talk about real quick is a tool that we're using. Obviously, it's part of our new 10-week game plan. We've put a lot of time in it, and I want to tell you real quick why we've embraced this book. The big thing is when we started looking out there to create a training system for our team, one of the first things we did was read this book. When we went through the book, there was nothing in the book that we disagreed with. Absolutely nothing. And so we could spend the time and the money to put together a training system, or we could just embrace this and have it where people could get it anywhere and just support all the work that Eric Worre has put into this. It's fabulous, absolutely fantastic. If I was to come up with a training program today, I wouldn't change a thing in this thing. I've been through his live events, I've been on a lot of his videos and everything else, and I think he's dead on, just amazing, doing a lot of great things for the industry. So thank you so much, Eric Worre. But we just can touch on, in the 10-week game plan, we can just touch on those 7 steps. The book is going to take you deeper into those 7 steps. And so encourage you to get the book. Also, it comes in audio book format, and it's actually Eric Worre reading the book, and there's a little bonus segment at the end as well, him doing a speech at a company that he was involved with years ago. What I love about Eric Worre, again, I've been to his live events the last 2 years, his GoPro Live, GoPro Recruiting Mastery event, and we're going to talk about that in a second as well, is Eric Worre has made millions and millions in this industry. He's founded companies. He's been an advisor and consultant to major companies. He knows this industry in and out. The scary thing is he's not involved with USANA, so how do we kind of trust all this? Well, he's made it very clear that his passion is to pick up where Jim Rohn left off and to take the personal growth and development that's needed in network marketing to another level and to make it a professional, respected industry, and that's what this book is about. And so he's made it very clear in his live events that he will never join another company, he'll never be an associate, he'll never be in management, he'll never own a company, he'll never be a major stockholder in a company. And if he ever does that, he told 10,000 people at this training event that he wants us to publicly just destroy him. So I really think that he's got a lot of credibility. I have no reason to doubt him. I believe in him. I believe in his credibility, and so do the other leaders that are part of this team. So anyway, the 7 steps that we just touch on in the 10-week game plan, he takes it a lot further into what you really need to know. So get the book, get the audio series, either one or both. I love listening to it and reading it as well. And use those with your team. They're $12. Now, where do you get them? You can get them from Amazon.com. You can get them from his website, NetworkMarketingPro.com. Also, the Rise of the Entrepreneur documentary, you go to risemovie.com. If you want to subscribe to that, the online version, it's $9.97 per month. You get 20 views. So it's a tracking system where when you send it out, if your prospect clicks on it, even if they watch it for 1 second, that's counted as a view. But that one link is specific to that associate or that prospect. I believe they can watch that as many times as they want. But if you send it out to 20 different prospects and they each view it, you've used it up. You can recharge that every month as well and get some more views if you're using more than that. But that's where you can get the online version. I also want to introduce you to www.challengeyounow.com. ChallengeYouNow.com. I'm going to go there real quick, well, as quick as I can, and figure this out. I want to show you around a little bit, and I want to thank Brian Bolke for, again, he's our IT guy, and does an absolutely fantastic job supporting this. And this is just a work in progress. Actually, he just finished this up. We just made some final edits this morning before the webcast, before he took off to coach his son. We were doing some final things. So when people go to it, the first thing they see is a 3-step video presentation, which is Dr. Wentz under the microscope, and then the Rise of the Entrepreneur. This is just a 2-minute trailer. It doesn't go into all the details. It's more of a teaser around the Rise of the Entrepreneur. It's the only thing we can put in here. And then More Than a Vitamin is the 3rd step. So this is just kind of priming your prospect for a presentation. And then there's some bonus videos down below as well. that they can look at. And we're just working with this, just getting it as a template. You can start using it right now if you want. It's free and open, available to all of you. Share it with your team as a valuable resource. But just know that we're working on some other stuff, and we'll be changing and adding some presentation components to this. And so you can go to home and learn a little bit more about what we're all about, the events. Stay tuned for our future event, our next Challenge U. We're working on some things on that right now. But there's a highlight video here from the San Antonio Challenge U resources, where you can get your 10-week fast track rookie game plan, as well as feedback from the Challenge U, some downloads from stuff that was covered at the Challenge U, photo albums from Challenge U as well, producers to get to know more about the leadership, the Challenge U leaders, and then a new feature that we just finished up yesterday is Shop at Challenge U. And what we did is, I'm going to share some other stuff on events with you in a minute, but we spent about $20,000 to try to get the cost down on tools and events to make it available for our team. When you buy stuff in bulk, you can save some money and pass that on to you. The thing we want to do is get the cost down and lock things in as far as events go, which again I'll talk about in a second, and make them available to our team members. And so we have in here some special pack pricing. You can go where there's a rookie pack. You get 5 of the GoPro books and 10 Rise of the Entrepreneur DVDs. So the idea here is you're brand new in the business. You need a GoPro book. You need 4 extra ones to have on hand to get to the brand new people as you sign them up going for Premier Platinum Pacesetter. Get it in their hand that night while they're waiting for their stuff to ship from USANA. Make sure you get them on that right away. So that's the rookie pack. Leadership pack is 10 GoPro books, because you're going to be building faster and want more for your team and for your new people and their team. And don't just give these things out. Resell them. Buy them and then resell them. That's what we're doing here as well. And then more of the Rise of the Entrepreneur DVDs, 25. And so this drastically reduces the prices when you get them in these packs. And then the prospecting pack for the real serious person who's out there just cranking, 10 GoPro books and 50 of the DVDs. And you can do the math there and figure out you get a good deal. You can also buy the books individually here. And again, buying in bulk, we're able to save you some money. It doesn't matter where you get these things from. Just get them into your toolbox. But you can get even more savings on a 5-pack, on a 10-pack, the audio books as well, and the Rise of the Entrepreneur DVDs. And so all these are available in the shop feature at challengeunow.com. So I'm excited about that, excited to be able to offer those tools to all of you and have you get those in your arsenal to go out there and help build your business. So let's move on to our next slide. I want to talk real quick about the power of events. We've talked about this in the past. I will never stop talking about the power of events. I mentioned when I was introducing Matt earlier that there's 2 things I've done well in this business. I don't do a lot of things very good at this business, but one thing is surrounding myself with people who are better than me, and then giving them, equipping them with the tools they need to be successful, and then supporting them and getting out of their way. The second thing I've done is I'm really good at filling seats with butts at major events. And I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do that. In fact, Eric Worre says promoting events is the highest paid skill in network marketing. If you understood that, you would understand why I do what I do when it comes to events. When USANA launched the convention, at last convention, I bought 2 of the buy 10, get 1 free packs at convention and got the price down to $208 for convention and shared it with my team. When I went to the Eric Worre GoPro event, which I'm talking about, I bought 35 of these tickets for my team, and it sold out in seconds. In just minutes, the event was sold out before we left there. But I secured them for my team. These tools that we talked about, thousands of dollars for our team. So not only just get them secured, but to get the cost down, to save people money so that you can have more of these tools to build your business. So there's a major event coming up. I know a lot of you, especially that are on this webinar from Texas, attended our Challenge U. And so I encourage you, at the beginning of this year, we kind of set up a schedule, and it was to either attend Challenge U and or the U.S. national event, depending on where you're located and what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. If you're going for Gold Director or you are a Gold Director, I really encourage you to be there at this event. So this is 3 powerful events in one. It's at the Red Rock Hotel and Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's way off the strip, a beautiful place. I just toured it. I went to Las Vegas to do the New Year, New You, first part of January, and went out with a couple of our leaders there and toured the Red Rock as well as another hotel we're going to talk about. But I'm going to go through all this real quick with you in just another slide, so I'm not going to talk about it too much there. One thing I do want to touch on is the awards gala. We're going to talk about that. I wanted you to understand what's going on there. So there's been a lot of confusion. There's a lot going on at this event because there's 3 different things, and you have to be at a certain rank to be able to qualify to attend some of these different components of this this celebration. I want to make sure that I'm crystal clear with it because I know there's a lot of confusion. I've done a ton of research. I know a lot about this event and what's going on with it. But if you are a new associate or even a prospect, this really isn't a prospecting event. But again, anybody can go all the way through Achiever. You have to at least, if you're not yet a director, this is all you can go to. So up through Achiever, Saturday only, April 25th. The tickets were $65 if you pre-bought them in advance. Gold directors and above had the ability around Christmas time to pre-buy packs of 25 tickets. I think they're like $1,600 some odd bucks. It came to $65 per ticket. Our team collectively bought 5 of these packs, and so we've used them. I think I have 2 left of the pack that I'm running, and then I'm going to share some other ones, how you can get them in just a moment. But we do have some of these discounted $65 tickets. Right now when you get online and look, it says it's $90 at the door. I don't know if some of the regular registration price tickets of $75 are available. I didn't see that on there. But again, $90 if you go to the door. This again is for Saturday only. If you want to go to the optional awards gala, anybody can go to that on Friday night, the 24th. And that is $49. You add that on to your ticket to the rest of the event. And you do that through, you can do that online through the hub or through customer service. Now, if you are a director, through Silver Director, this is what's open to you, and this recently changed. They recently opened up Friday to directors and above, where it used to be only gold directors and above. So this is going to be awesome. Eric Worre, by the way, is doing a huge part on Friday, about half the day, and about half the day on Saturday as well. USANA is bringing him in. I know there's a lot of grumbling because he's not booked to come do our convention. He's only doing the U.S. event, and international people are really not too thrilled that they're missing out on his presentation. So if you've seen him live, he's amazing. So Friday and Saturday, if you're a director through Silver, you can go both those days. It's $129. Now, if you have one of the early bird tickets that a lot of you have already purchased or are still available, you then can upgrade that for $54 more by calling USANA customer service, and that gets you into what you would qualify for if you're here again, directors through Silver, Friday and Saturday. Still adding on the optional awards gala on Friday night if you want to attend that, which I'm going to that, and I suggest you do as well. If you've been cranking, by the way, this is just a U.S. awards night. This isn't company-wide or worldwide, and so if you've been cranking, there's a good chance you're going to be getting an award that night. If you're gold and above, then it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 23rd through the 25th. Still that $129 price. Still the same way where if you have the early bird price or ticket of $65, you upgrade it the same way. The only difference is you get to go Thursday as well. Still the same deal with the optional awards gala on Friday night for $49. Gold and above, if you are an executive gold and above, there's a special reception for you Wednesday night as well that's included with your ticket. So I wanted to share with you a way if you did not go to Challenge U, or you went to Challenge U, you are a gold director, you want to be a gold director, you're going to this event. This is the U.S. national event. This isn't a regional deal. This is for everybody in America. And so we do have some, actually right here, got some extra early bird $65 tickets that we pre-bought. And one, we don't want to just keep these, but also we want to share that price with you. We are saving some for some new people. Susie Simmons, you can contact me. I've got, I think, 2 left. If you want to contact me, my contact info will be up here in a minute. Susie Simmons, Silver Director from Nevada, who does a lot with the team out there and putting on events. Here's her phone number, 702-302-3784, or her email address, svsuzette@yahoo.com. She has these tickets. You can get them from her for the $65. and save some money. And so I'd encourage you to do that. Share it with your team. When they're gone, they're gone. I think she might have about 20, 25 tickets left. I'm not sure exactly how many she has left. So as far as hotels go, you have some options. For out-of-town guests or people even from Vegas area that want to just stay on site, the Red Rock is a beautiful place. It's $155 a night for a one-room king bed. A room with 2 queen beds is $185 a night. They also charge a resort fee. I forget if that's like 12 or 25 bucks a night, and then of course all these hotel taxes. You register on that through the hub. There's a link on the hub that you would click on to do that, or the phone number on the screen. Now, as I mentioned, when I was there doing the New Year, New You, Susie took me around, and so did Leonard Gainey, took us around, and we searched, canvassed the whole area around the Red Rock. The closest hotel to it is the La Quinta. I think it's about 2 miles or so away. It's going to be more than a walk, probably. It's going to be a taxi ride, or a lot of the local leaders, we're working with them to help pick people up and shuttle from the La Quinta to the Red Rock. But I know the most important thing is to get people at these events. When I looked at the price of the hotel room at the Red Rock, it's a beautiful place. If you want to go and have a great time, a great ride off, and I suggest that, by the way, go have a good time in Vegas and write the trip off, but get a day of training in or more, depending on your rank. But for those on a budget, here's what we worked out at La Quinta. Walked in there, talked to a fabulous manager. This gal was awesome. Toured the whole facility, a very clean, nice, modern hotel. I think it was normally $109 a night for their regular rate. We explained the situation. I negotiated a corporate rate with her. $74 a night, does not have the resort fee. It just has the regular taxes, so it's a lot cheaper. Here's the other thing. You have the option of getting, they had a few rooms that had 2 queen beds, but they had a ton of rooms that have a king bed and a pull-out sofa. Plus, they'll bring up, there's big rooms, actually, and they'll bring up roll-away beds, as many as you can stuff in there, and get people in this room. Includes breakfast, includes Wi-Fi, includes free parking, and the rooms all have at least a microwave and a fridge. Some of the rooms have a full kitchenette, a stovetop, a full-size fridge. If you're going to go as a group, I would suggest one leader getting a full kitchenette if you guys want to do some cooking or something together to save some money and have some quality team time. Anyway, phone number 702-243-0356 to book your room at the La Quinta. You need to give them the discount code of USANA, and this block does expire this Friday coming up, April 3rd. I'll work on getting that extended, but I would suggest booking this room immediately if you want one. So we'll try to do that to save you all some money as well. The important thing is getting to this event. I know what it's like when you're on a budget. My first convention, I drove to Salt Lake City 12 hours. I stayed with family and friends. I packed lunches. Since then, I've had up to 30 people stay at my house, my old house, at convention. Packed them in, 30 people from Australia, to get people here and save them some money. So get to the events at whatever you have to do. The most important event that you need to attend in 2015 is obviously the International Convention in Salt Lake City, August 19th through the 22nd. Now, sometimes people say, if I can only attend one event, what should it be? It's the convention. But quite frankly, if you attend the U.S. National event, you will likely grow your business enough where attending the convention is not a big deal. So to me, if you're serious and you got some big goals and you want to be gold director above this year, you attend the next big event, period, and then work on the next event after that. And so we're going to talk about convention. In fact, I tried streaming it as we were testing earlier this morning, and it didn't work out great. So we're not going to pull it up. But there's a fabulous video, a few minutes long, that if you go to the hub, click on events, click on International Convention, and there's a great video there. It's also on USANA's YouTube channel. But it's the 2015 USANA International Convention, and it has some great highlights, and we'll talk to you a little bit about that as well. If you're already registered for convention, by the way, use that video to show people who have never been to a convention a little bit about what that would look like for them. So, get registered is the first thing. Matt talked about this as spreading out the expenses, and I want to echo what he said. The first thing to do is register for this event. If you signed up with one of the packs that came with vouchers, redeem your vouchers. You're not automatically registered. You have to call customer service and redeem those vouchers. Right now, the current price is $279. That is good until May 1st, and then it's going to go up another $100. So at least register for that before May 1st to save yourself $100. But get registered for convention. Then down the road, as you need to, as you have, again, they don't charge you for the hotel, so if you can book your hotel right away. All the hotels in downtown Salt Lake City are controlled through the Visitors Bureau. So when a company's putting on a major convention, they can always get all the hotels they need. You can't call a lot of the hotels down there and book directly through them if you're coming to USANA convention and get the USANA prices. You have to go through the link that USANA has. So go to the hub, click on hotel information on the left after you're looking at international convention, and you're on that page where the video is I talked about. Look on the left and it says hotel information. That's where you can go and select your hotel. Get your flight booked or carpool set up. I know a lot of you from Texas who have packed 15-passenger vans and driven here through the night, taking turns very carefully with Rev 3 at your side to get to convention. Do whatever you have to do to get here, and then duplicate this with your team. You're going to walk out of these events like a Challenge U, like a USANA U.S. national event, and especially an international convention. You're going to walk out with a lot of the skills and the belief you need to move your business forward. And you're either going to be very happy that you had several people on your team at that event with you, or you're going to wish that you did. I know that from personal experience. In fact, my very first convention that I mentioned that I drove to, 12 hours, Jennifer and I took vacation time, drove all the way here. I remember it was a crazy storm at the time, and we got to convention, and there was, I think, 5 people in our business. I was brand new, and one of those was Mike Miller. I had 3 people total at in our business at convention. One of them was Mike Miller. Mike was our first gold director in our entire business. So we hit gold after convention quickly, and then Mike did it as well. So these events are game changers, folks. I cannot stress that enough. If you were a chiropractor and there was a chiropractic convention learning the latest and greatest skills and techniques and equipment for your office, you'd go to it. If you were any kind of a profession has these conventions and sales conferences that you would go to. If you're serious about your USANA business, get to these events. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is the Eric Worre GoPro Recruiting Mastery again. I've been to the last 2, so was Mike Miller. It's catching on like crazy. This is the event we were at. We bought tickets and then got on a waiting list because it's sold out there. Some other folks' credit cards didn't go through or whatever. I was able to secure some more tickets on the waiting list, and now they're all gone, sold out. However, again, it's $500. It's going to be Eric Worre, as well as Tony Robbins and several. You've got to make over $1 million a year in this business to have 5 minutes of stage time. Most major presenters earn $5 million or more in their business. And excellent stuff. It's a very safe environment and no recruiting zone. These guys are deadly serious. It's the absolute best thing I've ever seen outside of any kind of USANA sponsored event. In fact, even last year, Lori Truman was at it. Saw just several leaders that were there at this event. Jordan Kemper, I saw him there, and several other leaders as well. And so it's sold out. What's funny is your options are now to either get back on their waiting list, to get a ticket I'm going to show you in a second, or you can go to the UK. So they did a big event in the UK they're doing as well. I'm sending my whole team to the UK there. That one still has tickets available. But at this event we went to last year, I don't remember, Mike, I think it was like 100 different countries were represented as associates in the room. It was absolutely crazy. So they thought doing one in the UK would free up a lot of tickets for people who are coming from Europe, but this thing still sold out in just a few minutes. So because I secured a bunch of tickets, I do still have some left. I've been sharing them with my team members. I'm keeping a couple for personal prospects. I think I have 6 or 8 left that I am willing to open up. If anybody's been wanting to get a ticket and doesn't have one, my phone number's on here. You can just text me or call me, 801-243-0817. I'm now going to open those up to any of you that want them. If you can get them through GoPro, they're going to be $500. I've got them for $397. I'm going to honor that price and make these available through the rest of this month. So come April 1st, I'm probably not going to make these available anymore, just depending on how that goes, or at least at that price. So if you want to go, contact me, and I'll do what I can to help you out. Again, Eric Worre says, the highest paid skill in network marketing is promoting events. Get to these events, get your people to these events, and absolutely don't miss it. I will tell you this, a very wise man once told me, if you want to see what somebody's priorities are in life, look at their calendar and their checkbook or their credit card statement, depending on these days. So look where they spend their time and they spend their money. You don't have to give all your time and all your money to your USANA business, but it does have to have a place in your time and money. It will cost you time and it will cost you money to build a successful USANA business. You will have to reinvest some of the money you earn from your USANA business back into your business if you want it to go to the next level. Don't just make money and blow it. You've got to invest in self-improvement. You've got to invest in your team. You've got to invest in your skills and become a master of this industry if you want to be highly successful. So I want to real quick, as we're wrapping up here, a few minutes early, beautiful thing, I want to do a couple things. First, I want to promote our Monday Matters call this Monday night coming up here the 30th. We have one-star Diamond Director Matt Ryan. He's going to be doing a quick interview with brand new Gold Director Hector Gutierrez, as well as discussing the cost of being unhealthy. He was sharing some of these statistics on our leadership call last Monday, and they were just crazy. This is going to be a guest-friendly call to hear the success of a brand new person, as well as hear the cost of being unhealthy. It will be great for your guest, for your associates, for your team. So tune into Monday Matters, Monday night, March 30th, coming up here, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know sometimes there's some confusion real quick on the time zones because we all live different places. You're going to have to get good at converting to whatever time zone you live in. 8 p.m. We all just kind of put the CST on our communications out there, so convert for your Pacific, for your Eastern, and for your Mountain. Phone number is always 530-881-1300, PIN 330797#. Make sure you use that PIN when you call in. So a couple things I want to do real quick. One thing is, I'll put it back here just so you have that up if you need it. But I want to let you know that, as far as I know, we're recording this. We are recording this webcast, and we will make it available to all of you. I did see some of the chats, some of the texts, and know that we did have some technical difficulties. We're working through that. It might be your connection. It might be the new procedure. It might be us on our end as we're working through it. But this was recorded. We will make this link available to all of you. When we make stuff available recorded, I want to encourage you to get on live if possible for a lot of reasons. One is a lot of that information is timely. The other thing is a lot of us, when we have the intent to go and watch something recorded later, we end up not doing that. And it ends up falling through the cracks. And if we don't get it on our calendar, it doesn't happen. So I want to encourage you, for you and your team, to attend these events, attend the Saturday at Homes that we're doing. We're working on another one already for a couple months out. And attend the Monday Matters live, if possible at all. But we do record them because we know some of you have other things that are conflicts that you just can't get out of, and you have limited time to build your business. So we're working on that. But real quick, I want to thank, first off, Brian Bolke for helping us technically to get figured out with this, and then we gave him the day off to go coach his son at soccer, and then also everything he's done on our websites and just technology-wise and stuff, even the 10-week game plan. There was a webcast. Him and I were on 10 hours one day together just making changes and doing all the final stuff on that. We were on a webcast on Friday for, I think it was 7 hours straight, working on the final details on the new Challenge U Now website. So thank you so much, Mr. Bolke, for all you do for our team. I thank Chris Hall for always standing by and being available, and we try not to be too demanding on his time as he's still working his USANA business full-time. I want to thank Matt Ryan for doing a fantastic job on the 10-week game plan this morning. I want you to know that we're going to work on making a recorded version of that. In fact, I've already reached out to Chris via text, and Chris is going to work on getting Matt's section just trimmed so we just have that presentation he did available right away for you all to share with your new people and use that as a resource ongoing when you sponsor somebody tomorrow or the next day or whatever. We're going to make some recorded versions of that available. We're going to start with this one if we can get that figured out. I also want to thank Mike Miller for always having such great content being prepared and all his contribution. And I want to thank all of you for taking your time out on a Saturday morning to come out and invest in yourself, invest in your team, invest in your business, invest in your goals to move your business forward. I want to thank you for your patience as we've worked through some of these technical difficulties. We will continue to get these things streamlined, and we're not going to let technology beat us, even those of us who are technology challenged. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in to Saturday at Home. And this is a beautiful day. I hope you spend some great time with your family today and doing some fun stuff. And I hope that you make this a very productive week, that you set some serious goals, that you go out there and share the USANA opportunity and products